Hello everyone, Lily here. Welcome to my channel, and for those returning viewers, welcome back. And today, on this hot day where I'm living, it's currently 35 degrees Celsius. Hopefully the last day of a 2-week heat wave that we've just experienced. I'm a bit hot and bothered. So along with that, I thought I'd do a video and critique a guidebook that came along with a deck. And the deck in question is Pocket of Peers, along with, and the guidebook we'll be talking about is this here. And I'm going to warn you right away, I'm not organized. I'm doing this on the fly. It just comes to the point where if I'm going to look at a Kickstarter now, everybody talks about how important it is to make sure that a lot of the cards are created and done, and you can have a look at them at the time of the Kickstarter campaign. Well, I'm starting to think that maybe I should be paying more attention to a guidebook as well and see how much of it is done, or try and determine the quality of the guidebook, because while I won't say it's bad, the guidebook is not great either, if I can be so bold, and I'll tell you why. Now, the whole point of this deck, Pocket of Peers, is that each card features someone, either a celebrity, someone the creator knows, that represents a tarot card. That's the way I interpreted it to start. And so let's start with obvious cards. And I'll show you some of these. And these are the court cards. You have someone representing the court card in question. I don't remember who this was, but this is, for example, this is Anthony Dawn, that we all know and love here on YouTube. And where the guidebook is failing, in my opinion, is if Anthony is the Knight of Swords, why is the guidebook not telling us why she's a good example of the Knight of Swords? Here's another that the name escapes me right now. And this is my part, a big part of my rant in this guidebook. This happens to be the creator's father-in-law. Is that I have no clue why these people are represented as this card. The guidebook is set up in such a way that you'll get, well, actually, let me just turn to the page here where she explains it. Okay, so here's a page on Deep Dives that says about the meanings. You will see that some cards have messages from the peers in their own words. Allow them to be tidbits of wisdom to experience the energy of the card in a new way as you seek counsel from a familiar or fresh face. Links for some are included to the peer should you feel a deeper dive with that person is in order. There are also thoughts or points to ponder about the upright and reversals if you choose to use them. And then it goes on. So I'll show you a page, like here's the page for the Magician, where you'll have sort of an explanation of the meaning, or maybe a little bit of who this person is. And then you have the points to ponder for, upright and reversal. And then for each card, you have a blank page, which is nice. There's no doubt about it. But I'll give you an example of one of the cards that basically represents my frustration with this guidebook. and it's the devil right here. Who is Tim Fitch? And here's what is written here. Discussing with my partner, Tim, about this deck project. As I often do, the topic of the more difficult cards came up. Like, who is going to volunteer to be the devil, or worse yet, the tower? He raised his hand. He'll say, I'll be the devil. And you know what? I thought about it and what I know of his path, and it fit. He has lived for a spell in that life, navigating the trenches. Tim's story is not mine to tell, so you won't find it here. Yeah, okay, that's admirable. But I have no clue why he represents the devil. Shouldn't that be important in a deck called Pocket of Pears? And, you know, actually, and then here's another card, which, let me pull it out here. So the next card following is actually a good example of what this description should be for every card, and it's for the Tower. And the Tower is represented by Lisa Robertson. And it says here, and these are in her own words, the Tower gets a bad rap. It is often seen as a card of destruction, something that brings trouble and uncertainty. Let's face it, the Tower is all about the shock value. But this is such a limited way to look at the powerful energy the Tower can and does bring in one's life. For where one person sees disaster, another person will see opportunity. The Tower offers you a choice, a new way to see things, a shift in perspective. When Jamie wanted someone to volunteer for this card, I knew it had to be me, because I am the embodiment of the Tower. In so many ways, the Tower is how I live my life as a creative and teacher. I'm not afraid to tear things down, throw things out, and start all over again. Not with projects, not with life. If something isn't working, all I want to do is to blow it up and start again. I also get that not everyone is like me. Not everyone wants to see their work thrown in the trash and told to start again. But what if throwing it away and starting again made your work and yourself better? This is the lesson the Tower has to offer. The opportunity to try again, the blessings of the do-over, the miracle of the fresh start. Nothing gets me more excited than a blank page. A clean and clear sacred space to pour onto. I have many ideas and much to pour. I will always be thankful the Tower continues to bless me with the opportunity to start again. If only. And basically, that's part of my rant. Like all decks, there's some cards I agree with, some cards I don't. I mean, the points to ponder for upright and reverse card, you know, they're pretty run-of-the-mill. I mean, you wouldn't, if you didn't have a guidebook, I don't think it would be a great loss. And you know, when it comes at the end where the tarot spreads, actually, I thought that was pretty well done. There's quite a, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spreads, and the symbols index. Because, the thing is the cards there was so much work put in the cards and so many details. Because when you sit down and look at each of the cards, you'll see a lot of the symbols that appear in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. If you actually sit down and look at the card carefully for a long time, you'll see astrological symbols. Sometimes they're so tiny that if you're just perusing the card, you probably won't notice it. But what is the point of putting all this detail in a card if it's not going to show up in the guidebook? Or even then, like, actually, you know, I'm going to say maybe that's unfair, because the thing is if you study the Rider-Waite-Smith, you can find a lot of this information in another guidebook. But what the deck has that no other deck doesn't should be explained, please. I mean, you know what? Giving me a website to go visit whoever's in the card, like, why should we? Why should I? That's the whole point of buying the deck, is so I can learn about these people and how they relate to the card. So that if I actually, you know what? I know a little bit of Ethany, so actually her as the Knight of Swords makes total sense. She's a Gemini. She actually, you know, she talks a mile a minute. She actually, I think she's actually a good representation of that card. But I have no clue what the other people are. I mean, you know, here's the Knight of Wands. Like, apart from seeing the yarn, yeah, I can say it's representative of being creative and creativity. But I don't know who this gal is. Like, why is she the Knight of Wands? Like, throw me a bone here. So, well, anyway, I think I've made my point. And, well, like Mary Grace and Sylvain Demansy recently, I'm in a mood. And yeah, you know, this is what a guidebook should not be. I mean, this guidebook is going right up there with what I think of the guidebook for the wild unknown, and I'm talking about the indie version, which was a waste of money. Yeah, so anyway, I'll leave it here, and until next time, have a good day.